Most solopreneurs never make the leap to true entrepreneurship. Why? Because they think being busy is the same as building a business. But let me tell you, it's not. In this video, I'm going to show you the exact mindset shifts and the moves that you need to make to stop working in your business like an employee and start building a business that works for you. If you've been feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or like you're carrying the whole world on your shoulders, this video is your roadmap out. If you are a solopreneur, you are the CEO, you're the marketer, you're the salesperson, the tech guy, and even the janitor. And while it gives you control, it also chains you to your business. Oftentimes, yes, you do have to start off as a solopreneur doing everything. But you also have to realize solopreneurship is just the stage. It's not the destination. And if you're watching this, chances are you're ready to make the leap from hustling alone to leading a real business. And so let me give you a few points on taking the leap, going from solopreneur to entrepreneur. The first point is this: shift from doer to designer. What does that mean? The first big leap that you have to make is shifting from doer to designer. As a solopreneur, you wear many hats. Again, like I said, you're the salesperson, the marketer, the accountant, and sometimes even the customer service rep at midnight. You're running around doing everything. And at first, that is normal. But if you stay in that place too long, you'll build yourself a job, but not a business. Think of it like this. An architect does not grab a hammer and nails and just start building a skyscraper. Their job is not to lay every brick. Their job is to design the blueprint and then hire the right builders to bring their vision to life. If you're stuck as the one laying every brick, you're the laborer. And if you're going to step into entrepreneurship, you've got to become the architect of your business. This is the same reason why in sports, a coach does not play the game. Can you imagine if Phil Jackson tried to suit up for the Bulls and play right alongside Michael Jordan? Can you imagine that? That sounds ridiculous, right? Well, because it is ridiculous. Because his value is not in playing the game. His value was in seeing the bigger picture. His value is in designing plays and putting the right people in the right positions. When you keep doing everything yourself, you're trying to be both coach and the player. But real entrepreneurs design a strategy and they let the players execute the plays. Now, I know this takes a big mindset shift. So you have to stop asking, how do I do this? And start asking, who can do this? You got to go from asking, how do I do this, to who can do this? And every time you say yes to a task that someone else could handle, you're saying no to growth. Because your role is not to do. Your role is to design. And so you have to go from doer to designer. You have to design the vision, to design the systems and the strategy that guides your business forward. And so here's what this looks like practically. The first step is you want to write down the top 10 things that are recurring tasks that you do every week. Write them all down. And then you want to circle the ones that could be done by someone else at least 80% as well as you can do it. And then the third thing is you want to document those tasks and start preparing to delegate those tasks. That's how you make the leap from being a worker bee inside the hive of your business to the beekeeper who designs the flow of the honey. All right, so that's my first point. The second point in taking the leap, going from solopreneur to entrepreneur, is the second point is this: you got to build a team before you feel ready. You got to build that team before you feel ready, because you're not going to feel ready. You're probably never going to feel ready, but you got to do it anyway. You got to build a team before you feel ready. Most solopreneurs wait until they're drowning before they hire some help. You can't do that. And they tell themselves, I'll build a team when I have more money or more time or when I have more customers. But here's the truth. If you wait until you feel ready, you'll never do it because there will always be a reason to delay it. Building a team is not something that you do when you can afford it. It's how you will become able to afford it. Once you build the team, that's how you're going to be able to afford it. Does that make sense? And so think about it like rowing a boat. If you're paddling alone, sure, you can move. You can make some progress. But the moment that you add just one more person that's paddling that boat with you, you instantly double your speed. And when you build a crew that's all rowing in sync with you, you don't just move faster, you can cross oceans that you've never thought possible. That's what happens when you stop rowing solo and start building a team. You go from survival paddling to smooth, scalable sailing. You know, people often think that when they make their first hire, they think, well, this is going to drain all my money. But the exact opposite is true. They find out that they suddenly had more time to focus on things that actually grew revenue, like sales, like partnerships, like strategy. And that virtual assistant that they hired, they didn't come at a big cost. They actually multiplied their time, which multiplied their income. So you got to understand that your first hire is not an expense. It's the best investment that you'll ever make because you're buying back your own time. And here's the shift you have to make. Entrepreneurs who struggle stay stuck in a belief that no one can do it as good as me. They stay stuck in that belief. But here's the reality. They don't have to be as good as you. They just need to do it consistently because consistency beats perfection every single time. Your real superpower as an entrepreneur is not doing everything. Your real power as an entrepreneur is building the people and the processes that can do everything without you. So here's what this looks like practically. The first thing is you identify some of the repetitive tasks that you hate doing, like emails, like bookkeeping, like social media scheduling. And then the next thing is find someone. It can be a freelancer, it can be a contractor or a part-time hire. Just find someone to take some of those or at least one of those tasks off your plate. And then use the freed up time that you have now to focus on money-making activities that only you can do. And so the thing here is to start small, one person, one task, and then scale it from there. That's how empires are built. All right, my third point is this. How do you go from solopreneur to entrepreneur? How you take the leap? The third point is this. Systematize everything. Here's the truth. If your business relies on you to run it, then technically you don't have a business. You own a job. Your business only becomes scalable when it can run without you being in every single detail. And that's where systems come in. Think about McDonald's. Ray Kroc did not flip burgers. He built a system that was so simple, so repeatable that a teenager can come work their first job and they can follow that system. That was his genius. That's why McDonald's grew into a global empire. It wasn't about having the best burger. As a matter of fact, Ray Kroc didn't even cook burgers. So McDonald's started with the McDonald brothers. There were these two brothers that cooked hamburgers, right? And they started this hamburger shop, and they were the McDonald's brothers. Well, Ray Kroc was a businessman, and Ray Kroc came in, and eventually he ended up buying McDonald's from them. And what he did was turned it into a system. That's why it is what it is today. So it's not necessarily about the burger, and we all know that they don't have the best burger. So it's about but they have the best system, And that's why there's a McDonald's on every corner, because they have a great system. And so it's not about having the best burger. It's never been about that. It's always been about having the best system. And your business is no different. Success is not about what you can do. Success is about what your systems allow anyone to do. You see, systems are what separate chaos from command. In the military, soldiers don't wake up and guess what today's mission is. Everything runs on SOPs, standard operating procedures. That's why thousands of people can move in sync even in the most stressful environments, because of a system. And so if you don't have systems, you're operating on hope and memory. And that, my friend, is a recipe for burnout. But here's where you got to make the shift. As solopreneurs, we tend to keep everything in our heads. How we send invoices, how we onboard clients, how we deliver the services. We tend to keep it all in our head. But if it lives only in your head, your business is fragile. One sick day, one vacation, one distraction, and everything just falls apart. See, real entrepreneurs turn chaos into clarity by creating systems that anyone can follow. That's how you scale. And so here's what this looks like again, practically. Pick one recurring process like client onboarding, or it could be sending invoices, or it could be posting on social media. Pick one, write it down step by step, like the process that you do. Write that process down step by step as if you're teaching a 12-year-old. That's how simple you want to make it. Step by step, like you're teaching a 12-year-old, and then give it to someone else. And then the next thing is automate whatever you can. Whatever you can. We have all these software tools today. We have AI. We have all that. Automate the things that you can automate, and then delegate the rest. That's how you do it. And when you do this, you're building what I call business muscle memory. Just like your body can perform tasks without thinking about it, your business can run smoothly without you constantly pushing it. You see, the difference between solopreneur and an entrepreneur is not talent. The difference is systems. Systems buy back your time, they protect your energy, and they create freedom. Without them, you're stuck. But with them, you scale. All right, here's my last point on taking the leap from solopreneur to entrepreneur. The last point is this: learning to think profit, not paycheck. See, most solopreneurs still think like employees. They measure success by how many hours that they work, or by how much money that they personally earn in a week. But entrepreneurs, they play a different game. They don't chase hours. They chase outcomes. They don't just look at revenue, they focus on profit. Imagine two kids running lemonade stands. The first kid sells $1,000 worth of lemonade, but he spends $900 on lemons, sugar, and the lemonade stand. And then you got the second kid that sells $500 worth of lemonade, but he only spends $100 on all of his supplies. Who's winning? The first one only profits $100, but the second one profits $400. And so the one with the bigger revenue didn't win. It was the one with the bigger profit. And too many solo entrepreneurs are bragging about sales when their profit is paper thin. They have no profit margin. You see, entrepreneurs know this. It's not what you make, it's what you keep. And this is where the paycheck mindset holds you back. You see, employees are trained to trade time for money. They say, I work 40 hours, I earn this much money. That's safe and predictable. But if you take that mindset into business, you'll chain yourself to every client, every task, every hustle in the business. Entrepreneurs break free by building assets, systems, products, and teams. They generate profit whether they're present or not. You see, it's not about squeezing more hours. It's about creating more value. When you make this shift, you stop asking, how much can I make this week? And you start asking, how much profit can I generate this quarter? You see, that one question changes everything. It will force you to cut waste, to raise your prices. It'll force you to focus on the activities that actually grow your bottom line. And your business can double, not because you work more, but because you thought different. And so the practical steps you take here is, the first thing is you review your numbers. Go through your numbers, because revenue feeds your ego, but profit feeds your family. And so go through your numbers and see look at your profit margins. The second thing is cut hidden costs. You probably have a lot of hidden costs, like subscriptions that you don't know about or that you forgot about. Too many tools, too many, spending cost on tasks that don't add value. The third thing is to raise your prices or bundle your services so that you can increase margin. And that's an easy one, but it gives you the most bang for your buck. And then the last thing is to build scalable offers that can scale, right? Like some type of digital product or retainers or memberships, things that create recurring profit. Here's the truth. You don't escape the 9-to-5 trap by making more money. You escape it by keeping more of the money that you make, multiplying that money, and creating systems where profit is automatic. Stop thinking like an employee chasing a paycheck and start thinking like an entrepreneur building lasting profit. And so that's what I wanted to share with you today. I hope this was helpful. If it was, drop a comment. Let me know how it helped you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.